I said we can't have 100%, okay? But if we can have 80 to 90%, okay, unity among political parties, it is possible. But that does not mean it is difficult to achieve it, but that does not make it impossible. So we use all diplomatic means to see that we discuss with everybody what is important is Nigeria. Let's look at where we are coming from, where we want to go, how far have we fared. We'll compare democracy to other African countries. Okay, how are they? What have they done that they succeeded? What have we done that we are where we are? Are we done well? Are we failed? So we want to look at all these things, but all this through discussion with the people in power, with those, and then to see how we can reduce inter-party and intra-party crisis.
Also stated, and quote, I want to try as much as possible within the next 3 months of our administration to ensure that IPAC is registered with the Corporate Affairs Commission. And then when I first saw that part and then I put it on social media, and the next thing most of our viewers asked, oh, so IPAC is not even registered with CAC. So how far are you willing to go in 3 months? So it means that in the next 3 months, we should come back here to this table and ask you, how far so far? Yeah?
I'm not a pessimist. I've been an optimist all my life. If I set out to do something, I work within. I know it will be difficult, but I work within all possibilities to get it done. I believe we can, and we will do it by His grace. Let me start by referring you to the last general elections, the last presidential elections. My party, the Allied People's Movement, is the only party that fielded a female candidate of all the 18 political parties that contested the election then. So that tells you the position of my party when it comes to women inclusion in the political system. So we will extend that thing using other women institutions, okay, or other women group across, both locally and internationally. You can see in that photograph, you see a women group who came from Somalia. So some of these things we'll explore, okay, what we have within and what we can get from external environment or democracies and bring them together and then move forward. But we will continue to discuss and we'll continue to encourage the women.
We'll begin this conversation taking our quote first from Abraham Lincoln, who is an American lawyer, politician, and statesman who served as the 16th president of the United States from 1861 until his assassination in 1865. He once said, Republicans are for both the man and the dollar, but in case of conflict, the man before the dollar. All right, my next one is from E.A. Buchineri, an author, once said, they say if you don't vote, you get the government that you deserve. And if you do, you never get the result you expected. Absolutely spot on. My next quote will be from Colin Quinn, who is an American stand-up comedian, author, and writer, once said, a lot of lip service gets paid to being honest, but no one really wants to hear it unless what is being said is the party line. Absolutely spot on. My last one will be from Abhijit Naskar, celebrated neuroscientist, who once said, religion was the opium of the masses of yesterday. Politics is opium for the masses of today. All right, now let's see how this goes relates to what we'll be discussing today. Very warm greetings and welcome to The Conversation, reaching you from Kaftan's television here in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Annabelle Oji. Now, the National Secretary or Secretariat of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, on Monday evening elected National Chairman of Allied People's Movement, APM, that's Alhaji Yusuf Dantalle, as its new national chairman. Dantalle, who until Monday's election was the National Secretary of IPAC, defeated the national chairman of the Action Democratic Party, ADP, who is Engineer Yabagi Sani, who is also the outgoing IPAC national chairman, by 2 votes. While Dantalle, who won, garnered 10 votes, Sani recorded 8 votes, while 1 was voided. He would be in the office for 2-year tenure and is eligible to seek re-election once, according to IPAC constitution. Now, that is what we will be discussing about, as today we will be talking to Honorable Yusuf Dantalle, who is the national chairman-elect of IPAC, as we will be talking about what he would be doing for IPAC, and then would also dive a little bit and talk about elections. That's after this time out. Join us again. Welcome back. If you just joined us, this is The Conversation, reaching you from Kaftan's Television here in the nation's capital, Abuja. Now we'll go straight to our conversation for today, and my guest is Honorable Yusuf, and he is Dantalle. He is the national chairman of the Inter-Party Advisory Council. That's the national chairman-elect. It's great to have you on the show today, sir.
Thank you so much.
And congratulations again.
Thank you.
Okay, so now let's get straight to, let's talk about, by talking about and now that you're the national chairman of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, we'll start with some of the promises that you made after the election. And one of which is, quote, you said, and quote, "I will take the council to the next level. I will do it sincerely between me and God."
Correct.
So let's get to hear from you in that regard.
Welcome. Good afternoon. What I said wasn't an accident.
Okay.
I mean it, and it will happen by the grace of God. It is not just about assuming the leadership of the umbrella body of all political parties, but what am I bringing on the table? And if you listen well to, I said I am not going to do it alone, okay? But with the cooperation of the entire council. So, and I think we had election 2 days ago, and since then I've been reaching out to other political parties, both those who contested and lost election, and the ones within, and the ones who did not even aspire for anything at all, to ensure that we have a whole house, okay, whatever comes out of IPAC should be the exact position of our political parties.
Okay.
And what are we going to do? If we're able to achieve that, even though it won't be total, but at least if we're able to achieve 80 to 90% a conformity among political parties. Every political party is just a vehicle, okay? But the aim of all political parties is to capture power, to administer, and to give dividends of democracy to the people. So if we all have that, so we'll be able to, within what you have as your manifesto and your constitution, what you have as your manifesto and constitution, we come together because what matters is Nigeria. And how do we do it? Through democracy, to strengthen the system, to strengthen the institution, to see how we can have a better democratic dividend for all Nigerians. And this we want to do without confrontation, without necessarily throwing tantrums against one another, but how we can do it to have one Nigeria.
So here you say without necessarily throwing tantrums and do it together. So are you extending the olive branch to even those that feel disgruntled during and after the election?
I have started.
Okay.
And yes, I've started. We are doing it. And immediately after this program too, I'm going to talk with others, because we need to, I can't succeed without the cooperation of every member of the council. Okay? If you like me, you don't like me, it doesn't matter. What's important is the soul of the council, Nigeria and democracy. So, and I'm appealing to all of them. I'll still use this medium to appeal to everybody. Even if you're not a member of the council, come and let's have Nigeria fixed for us. And
okay.
All political parties, a member, every political party, whether you are in opposition, whether you are in power, you are a member of the council. So, and it is our responsibility to advise, it's our responsibility to caution, it's our responsibility to bridle, it's our responsibility to discuss how democracy will be better for us all.
Okay, so how then are you trying to bring in those that will be referred to as the minority party into this roundtable?
What do you mean by minority party?
So most people will tell you that if it is not APC, if it's not PDP, if it is not Labour Party, so if for other parties who are not during the election, who had who didn't have so much supporters, so for such people who just feel that they want to go to the back, how do you then bring them to the roundtable also?
If you listen to me very well, I said we can't have 100%, okay? But if we can have 80 to 90%, okay, unity among political parties, it is possible. But that does not mean it is difficult to achieve it, but that does not make it impossible. So we use all diplomatic means to see that we discuss with everybody what is important is Nigeria. Let's look at where we are coming from, where we want to go, how far have we fared. We'll compare democracy to other African countries. Okay, how are they? What have they done that they succeeded? What have we done that we are where we are? Are we done well? Are we failed? So we want to look at all these things, but all this through discussion with the people in power, with those, and then to see how we can reduce inter-party and intra-party crisis.
Okay.
Yes.
Definitely, we'll talk about that one later. But then still on some of the promises that you made after you won that election, you also said, anchored, I will also take women in politics to the next level. Within this time, I am in power. And then if you look at how the elections of previous elections and recent elections, most people will tell you that women inclusion, youth inclusion, they're all talks and no work. So how much are you intending to bring women into the fore?
Okay, let me start by referring you to the last general elections, the last presidential elections. My party, the Allied People's Movement, is the only party that fielded a female candidate of all the 18 political parties that contested the election then. So that tells you the position of my party when it comes to women inclusion in the political system. So we will extend that thing using other women institutions, okay, or other women group across, both locally and internationally. You can see in that photograph, you see a women group who came from Somalia. So some of these things we'll explore, okay, what we have within and what we can get from external environment or democracies and bring them together and then move forward. But we will continue to discuss and we'll continue to encourage the women, okay, and then seek support of most of the, in the council, you can see the number of women. The first time we have 3 women now in the council, and we are still bringing, and they're seeing how we can establish the directorate of women affairs, which we've never had in the council before. So that will purely address the issue of women and youth.
Okay.
Yes, so we are going to get it. And this we will do immediately. Yes.
Okay, so now let me bring you back because you talked about your party, the Allied People's Movement. So is it going to be more of IPAC but less of Allied People's Movement here?
Yeah, this opportunity is God that gave it to me. Okay? I'm not, I don't have anything special or more special than other leaders. There are people who are better than me, who know better than me. It's just a trust. You understand? So I want to use that trust to see how I can better the position of women inclusion in the democratic journey in Nigeria.
Okay.
So just like yes, it will still be more of APM and more of IPAC, and then set that pace, make other people, other political parties see reasons why we should have this. But to me, I strongly believe that women have, if we have more women in the system, our democracy will be better than what our society will be better than this, because women are mothers, they breastfeed. Yeah, most women, the children are closer to their mother more than their father, and they are always they are the nurses. You understand? You know, they are home, so it's easier for the women's sympathy or empathy on the children is higher than that of the man. We are in a society that a man can have 2, 3, 4 wives. But women have her own husband with her children. Most times when the husband is elsewhere, she have her children. So that could be, if it is translated into the democratic journey, I think it will be better.
Great. Okay, so you also stated, and quote, I want to try as much as possible within the next 3 months of our administration to ensure that IPAC is registered with the Corporate Affairs Commission. And then when I first saw that part, and then I put it on social media, and the next thing most of our viewers asked, oh, so IPAC is not even registered with CAC. So how far are you willing to go in 3 months? So it means that in the next 3 months, we should come back here to this table and ask you, how far so far? Yeah?
I'm not a pessimist. I've been an optimist all my life. If I set out to do something, I work within. I know it will be difficult, but I work within for all possibilities to get it done. I believe we can, and we will do it by His grace. We tried to do it in the last dispensation, maybe for one reason or the other. But this time, we need to have a consolidated front to discuss with the appropriate agencies what is holding it and what is not holding it. But that doesn't mean INEC, as the umbrella body of all political parties, all the political parties are registered with, they have the legitimacy from INEC. So INEC is equally a member of the council, okay, but a non-voting member of the council. You understand? But here we need more recognition internationally.
Okay.
Because we have a lot of international partners who are willing, but we have been encumbered by the absence of a certificate of registration for the council. And that we need to do. We are not doing this for us, but we are doing it to set that path for the growth, okay, of faster growth of IPAC beyond where it is today.
All right, now, so let's come down to some of the internal wranglings you have in the party, because we are informed that the council was immersed in leadership crisis as the council's General Assembly meeting ended in a deadlock over alleged tenure elongation of the outgoing national leadership. Now, speaking amidst that melee, you actually accused the outgoing IPAC national chairman of attempt to extend through the back door his 2-year tenure, which ended Tuesday midnight. Kindly confirm.
I don't really want to speak about that because it is past. You understand? It is the process building up to where we are today. Okay? And then that, I think it is gone. We have discussed. The election has come and gone, and we are forgiving ourselves. Okay? And that is gone. He's still a member of the council. I respect him. He's my elder. I still want his contribution in the council for us to succeed. That is gone. There was an aberration, there was misunderstanding, but that has been sorted out among us, the leaders, amicably.
So this olive branch you're extending, does it also reach out to your
I am going to see him in his house. And then right from the day of election, he congratulated me and my team, and then he pledged full support and loyalty to this leadership.
All right, so I understand that Engineer Sani on 15th December 2021 defeated incumbent Chief Leonard Nzenwa, who was national chairman of AAC. Yeah. So now, and then he was gone in for a second term, which it didn't work. So are you seeing that same happening to you in your own time?
I can't. It's only God that determines the certainty of anything. Leadership belongs to God. He gave whoever. I don't even know if I will get to that, to 2025. So if God spare my life, whatever happens, I will try to do my best. So, but whatever result I get, that is what God wants.
All right, then. Now let's talk about the IPAC, which is the umbrella body of all political parties. And then to the layman, he believes that sanity should even begin from IPAC. Yeah. So now, we've gotten so many information with regards to fractions and internal wranglings, but then you should, in the layman's mind, it should be that there should be no fractions in IPAC. So kindly help us first. 2 questions I'm going to ask you, and I'd like you to unbundle them in one breath. Are there fractions, different fractions in IPAC? And 2, how would your administration deal with that?
Thank you. I will answer the first question by asking you. You were at the venue, right, of the election?
Yes, I was.
So did you see anything like faction there?
Okay, so
all the 19 political parties were there. And the election was conducted fairly peacefully. Okay? And the person that lost the election congratulated that won election. So does that tell you there's a faction?
But sometimes it could be the more you look, the less you see.
No. Not in this case. Not in this case. IPAC has always been united. Within you, you have misunderstanding. At times, your mind will tell you, I want to do this. Your instinct will tell you, I want to do this. Another one within you will tell you, no, don't do this. There will be a clash, okay, in your own thinking, okay? You see the tongue and the teeth, they have been together, okay, but sometimes there will be accident. So IPAC is not exempted. Here you are talking of human beings with different sizes, with different thinking, with different political background, environmental background. So definitely you must expect this to happen. There is nowhere you have a human being that there won't be disagreement. But our ability to accommodate, to move beyond the disagreement and come back together stronger and more united makes us what we are. IPAC have no faction. I repeat, we are fine and good.
Okay, so I remember having an interview with the outgoing national chairman, Engineer Yabagi, who talked about a committee that was set up, a resolution committee that was set up. So now, if talking about this, there's no fraction and all, in case if there comes a crisis, even if you call it a family feud, families have their feud. So if you have search happening, is there a sustainability measure in terms of having a resolution committee to look into that?
Yeah, you see, political parties, okay, this is the engine room of democracy. IPAC, okay, we have all the political parties represented here. And among us, we have been able to responsibly accommodate all disagreements and misunderstandings. So if there's anything to do going forward is to look back to our code of conduct, either modify, okay, or review to see where we need to accommodate or impute if there are anything that we need to put that has not been there. So we are looking into that. We don't have a perfect institution anywhere in the world. So we are doing it, we'll improve. One thing I'm assuring you, in the next 6 months, you will see a different IPAC. You will see us stronger, you will see us better, you understand? I don't see, and I won't see any problem in the council.
We're definitely looking forward to it.
We must work together and we must work within the framework of our code of conduct.
Most definitely, we're looking forward to that.
You will see that.
All right, let's go on a quick break, and when we return, we'll continue this conversation with Honorable Yusuf Dantalle. I'll see you later. Join us again.
The remuneration that goes to political office in Nigeria is outrageous. So much money goes into executive offices, legislative offices. It is not, if people are actually going to serve, you don't need some of this outrageous remuneration.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so until we are able to address, because if you know that you are going to serve, that if I go and get this thing and I put into it, I won't get it back, you won't do it. But the fact that I know that whatever I put in, okay, financially, materially, okay,
you get it times 2.
I will get it times 2 or 3. Quietly. You have a House of Assembly, a senator elect, or a House of Reps elect. Banks, you see banks chasing them to give them loan that they didn't ask. Am I correct? Why? Are they going to do business? So why are you giving that? Why? But banks will not go to the farm, okay, to look for farmers who need support. Where the institutions are not strong, individuals are stronger than institutions. Okay? They determine what happens in the institutions. But where you have the institutions very strong to be able to penalize erring members, you will not have this. So we will continue to advocate for stronger institutions against stronger individuals.
Okay.
That is just a solution to me. And that still go back to the remuneration of political office, okay, of individuals. If you are going to serve, this is unnecessary. You see taxpayers' resources being wasted, okay, on frivolous things because of your individual interest. What is happening in Rivers State, it is not the problem of the river electorate. It is a disagreement between 2 individuals. Wike, as a former governor, and Fubara, who is his successor. And then this thing has snowballed into problems that is affecting the entire River State.
Welcome back. If you just joined us, this is The Conversation, reaching you from Kaftan's television here in the nation's capital, Abuja. If you just joined us, you've actually missed out on the first part of the show, but then you can still join in the second part, as my guest on the show today is Honorable Yusuf Dantalle, who is the national chairman-elect of IPAC. Okay, before we went on that break, we've actually talked about quite a number of things about IPAC, but then let's move away from IPAC and then go straight to the election that happened, the recent election, that's the general election, in fact, all elections, both the off-cycle elections and all. Now, if you're asked from a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest, how exactly would you rate what the outcome of that election or that happened?
Which part of the election? From
the general elections down to the off-cycle, this last Imo, Bayelsa, and Kogi state election.
Is it election? Why do we even have election? Because we have different interests, okay, wanting to occupy one position. Am I correct? So you can have 10 people, you can have 20 people trying to vie for one position. That's what happened. And in such situations, one person must emerge. And that person will now be in the in group, and the person who do not emerge will be in the out group. And if elections do, there's nowhere in the world that say this is a perfect election. You only have free, fair, and credible election. For me, INEC did perform wonderfully well, okay, except for the maybe technical problem in the transmission.
Okay.
Yes, maybe, which was not holistic, it was partly, but then at the end of the day, it was rectified. But with the experience and knowledge of INEC who have what to do, INEC, they did well. Because, why do I say so? This is the only election where you have a taxi driver defeating a sitting House of Reps member. You get me? I know of a bus driver who defeated. Okay? Here in Abia, you see Labour Party taking over the governorship from the incumbent. So we have so many, it altered the structure that one person who had, the current president, Asiwaju, he has been the leader of Lagos, but he fought to win Lagos in the last election. You understand? So it wasn't, so that should tell you that it was not business as usual. And the number of votes that, the humongous votes that we used to have in the past, because of the sanity in the system brought in by INEC with the use of beavers and IREF, some of those votes were no longer, we didn't see them.
So are you giving all the applause to INEC?
I will say that INEC tried, they did well. I won't say they didn't do well. But politicians that we are, and Nigerians that we are, we will always try to see how we can beat the system, no matter what it is, to achieve what we want. And why is this happening? One thing I've continued to talk about, if we really want a better society, a better democracy, a better economy, a better political atmosphere, the remuneration that goes to political office in Nigeria is outrageous. So much money goes into executive offices, legislative offices. It is not, if people are actually going to serve, you don't need some of this outrageous remuneration.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so until we are able to address, because if you know that you are going to serve, that if I go and get this thing and I put into it, I won't get it back, you won't do it. But the fact that I know that whatever I put in, okay, financially, materially, okay,
you get it times 2.
I will get it times 2 or 3. Quietly. You have a House of Assembly, a senator elect, or a House of Reps elect. Banks, you see banks chasing them to give them loan that they didn't ask. Am I correct? Why? Are they going to do business? So why are you giving that? Why? But banks will not go to the farm, okay, to look for farmers who need support. Okay? If you even, as I'm a farmer, if you go to the bank today and you want bank loan, the bank will ask you if you have a collateral security in Abuja or in Lagos or in Port Harcourt. You understand? For a man that have never been or doesn't know his way to. But this is a man who need the money. Some of these things, until we are able to address them. So when you reduce that incentive, it will discourage do or die politics. Okay? And promote real service. You know, see people, because when you ask somebody to go and contest election now, the next question, or another person, does he have the money? Do I have the money? That's the first thing to look at. You understand? Because the first thing to look at is if you have the money to run for that office. And ordinarily, when you come to service, it's not supposed to be so. So here, I'm not accusing any individual, but it's about all of us. We have to look at it. We have to look at the foundation. The running of administration or government, or in short, the cost of administration in Nigeria too is very high. Okay. We need to look at some of these things if we really want this country to be better. Because there's nowhere you will have a gap between the rich and the poor so wide that you can stop the high growth of conventional crime that we have today.
All right.
I'm a student of sociology. And then in sociology, we don't look at crimes like robbery, like prostitution, like kidnapping. We don't see them as problems. We only see them as indicators of problems. It's only indicating that something is wrong with the socio-economic and political arrangement. I was in an occasion one time, and then somebody gave money to those boys some boys, and the way they were trying to fight and killing themselves and the money is not anything. So, and one military personnel was going to attack them. I said, no, sir, please come, don't do that. Why are you not going there to do it? Because you are gainfully employed. You know at the end of the month something will come for you. Or maybe when you get back to your station, your boss will say, okay, take. But they do not have. The level of poverty is high.
So that's an indicator.
So you now, this is Robert Martin's theory of anomy, who try to stratify people's reaction to social situations in 5 ways. One is conformity, another is innovation, another is retreatism, another is ritualism, and the fifth one is rebellion. So it depends on how you see it. So yes, you accept the end, but because you are denied the means to the end, you innovate your own way. And that innovation will be in form of robbery, it could be in form of prostitution, it could be in form of kidnapping. It's innovation. Then you now have some the other group. This group, they retreat into maybe drugs. You understand? In their hemp, alcohol. Because with that, you create an imaginary world, because the moment you are drunk or you are high, you feel you are on top of the world. You understand? Then you have the other group, the ritualists. Those ones that's where you see the born againist or the born againism. You see some people who resort to religion. Okay, fine. What is in the world after all? Let me just do the name. You know the way it is in the churches and in the mosque and Islam and Christendom, that they just concentrate on worshiping God and doing, to see that you just until you die. You understand? And then you see the rebels. Yeah, that is where maybe the initial Boko Haram came in. Then the first movement against the emancipation of Niger Delta. The Udua People Congress and all those things. They're okay, fine. The system is responsible for our situation. We cannot go and steal, so we don't get killed. Let's come together and attack that system. Then they go after the pipes. You understand? They go after the lines. They go after so that the system can call them. Okay, take. But you see, so some of these things, they are only until if these people are well accommodated economically, the gap is not so wide, it will reduce it. Even though it will not take it off completely because deviation is a normal part of human society. But it will not be as outrageous as it is. So it is my appeal, not just to the political class, but to all of us as Nigerians to come together. We can do better.
Oh, great. Okay, so now does that actually mean that, like I said, like I asked earlier, on a scale of 1 to 10, are you giving INEC 1 or to 10? Which of them would you actually give INEC?
I will give INEC 8.
8 is good.
Yes, I'll give INEC 8 because they will continue to. INEC under Professor Mahmoud has done very well, sincerely. You understand? So because you will look at where we were. Are you getting me? He's just one man. There are people doing the work. The people doing the work going to the field too, who compromise. And Nigerians like me and you. And hunger too can make somebody do it. Somebody will just go and see what they have not seen before. Why? Because the politicians who is contesting have enough at his disposal to come. You take. How much are they going to pay you? Go and do this. The person will compromise. Are you getting this? And the credit goes to INEC that, okay, INEC did this. It's just one individual that went to do it. The head of the leadership of the commission will not even be aware of what happened. You understand? So this is where I am. So it's the same Nigerians that operate these things, and then we just do some rubbish, and then we'll go back to the commission.
Okay, so
look at like what happened in Adamawa, for instance, in the last election, where you see the man with, it wasn't the leadership of INEC. It's just one man who took decision, trying to rubbish the whole work that was done. You get and the INEC became the victim because he was working. So things like that.
Okay, so because you talked about how INEC has done good, then I'm going to ask again, if you have to look apart from what I all add that INEC did, starting from the leadership recruitment process down to the electioneering process and then the outcome of the elections, how then would you say even the political parties did, aside from INEC, and then even the judiciary? Because I recall having this conversation with Barrister Solomon Dalong, and then he said, and quote, that if any politician wants to have an election, he should not bother going to campaign. Just go straight to INEC's office and then register yourself. Then if you find favor with the INEC chairman, that makes you a winner of that election. And then your next stop should be down to the judiciary, because according to him, he felt that the judiciary did not do that which they are known to do as the hope of the common man with regards to election specifically. Do you agree with that thought?
You see, today, if I had lost this election that brought me here, maybe I would say those who conducted the election, they did this, they did that. Isn't it? If I am not sincere to myself. It is not all the time okay for a man to accept that I actually I lost. Well, there's one of my lecturers then, he will tell you that the moment the student failed the exam, you say, that lecturer gave me carry over. That lecturer gave me carry over. But if he scaled through and he say, I made it. You see, I made it. But that doesn't mean you have a perfect system.
Okay.
We will continue because the worst democracy is better than the best military administration. So we will continue to work towards having a better democracy, a better system. We will discuss, whatever happened in the past, we will use those ones, as the stones, are stepping stones to move to the next level. I will say that IPAC under my leadership will look at some of the things we see as flaws, or as oversights in the system, and then discuss among ourselves the ones that need to go to the National Assembly, in form of a review of the Constitution or the enabling laws, and the Electoral Act will do that to see that we'll have it better. But this will begin to do with consultation as quickly as possible.
Great.
Because 2027 election is here.
And then you even have another election next year.
Thank you.
Edu elections.
So
Okay.
that is it.
Okay, so now how would you actually, what's IPAC during your leadership intending to do with regards to resolving fully the River State crisis? Because I hear a lot of people would tell you that, yes, even though that crisis had to go straight to the president for resolution, and then there's still this small disagreement, and then most people will tell you what happened. Why don't you have PDP or the APC come together as a party, political party, to resolve that before you even have to go straight to the president? So what would your leadership do in that regard?
Thank you. It's still part of what we have been saying before now. Yesterday, I was on air on the Arise, and this same question came in, okay? And my answer is very simple. Where the institutions are not strong, individuals are stronger than institutions, okay? They determine what happens in the institutions. But where you have the institutions very strong, to be able to penalize erring members, you will not have this. So we will continue to advocate for stronger institutions against stronger individuals.
Okay.
That is just a solution to me. And that still go back to the remuneration of political office, okay, of individuals. If you are going to serve, this is unnecessary. You see taxpayers' resources being wasted, okay, on frivolous things because of your individual interests. What is happening in Rivers State, it is not the problem of the River electorate. It is a disagreement between two individuals. Wike, as a former governor, and Fubara, who is his successor. And then this thing has snowballed into problems that is affecting the entire River State. Okay? But I strongly believe, yes, the president, as a father of the nation, he did well by calling them. Okay? But it is left for, but that have raised so many other questions, you understand. But it is a right step in the right direction. And you calm down. But the details of that, I don't really know what the details are, but I believe it's another school that we'll have to look at, okay, and then see how we can forestall reoccurrence of that going forward. And it still forms part of the need to have the constitution, the laws, the enabling laws, strengthen, or by extension, strengthen the institution than individual.
Okay, so now talking about strengthening institutions than individual. Now, in this regard, taking a cue from where you just landed, now we're looking at the 24 members of the House of Assembly that left. What exactly would you say with regards to cross-carpeting, defecting from one party to another? And most people will tell you that it is just a lack or a death of ideology. Do you agree?
If it is the institution, if there are loyalties to the institution, if it is to the state, if it is to the electorate that gave the mandate, maybe the situation will be different. So that is why I strongly believe in the strengthening of institutions, so to reduce crisis and some of the unnecessary interpretation of laws in by different individuals for personal interest.
All right, even as we begin to round up, we saw a headline that actually talked about electoral offenders during the off-cycle election in Kogi, Bayelsa, and Imo State are yet to be prosecuted. And then we keep talking about prosecuting electoral offenders, either those who are buying or selling votes or those who are caught in one practice or the other. But then if you have this set of people that are yet to be prosecuted, what will IPAC do in this regard? Because it means we have to talk to the right people. Is that the security officials or we're talking to INEC? What is IPAC going to do in this regard?
One thing, this one problem will give you, can snowball into so many other things. This thing all goes down to the goal, the power, the benefit, the seat, the office, the remuneration. You understand? Yes, the National Assembly came up with the establishment of Electoral Offences Commission or Tribunal, which is a very good idea. But we might not even get there if people go to serve. The boy who is being taken or who is being prosecuted, during the election, you see some boys being killed, some because he went to snatch the ballot box. But the man who sent them to snatch the ballot box, because he's not even contesting for anything. If you look at the family he comes from, he's a very poor boy who have nothing to, who cannot do anything. Maybe he's trying to look for how he will pay his next school fees. You understand? So themselves too are victims of the system. So if we have the system sanitized, it will reduce some of these things. Who are those to be put? I said this thing to the National Assembly. It is good, but it will reduce it. The man that is going to, the man who is a thug, how much is the cost of the AK-47? How much is the bullet? What is his own economic state? Can his parents afford that thing? The answer is no. Who gave him? The man is somewhere else. He's a big man. Okay? Who is going to lead him? Who is going to make laws for me and you? Who is going to administer as a governor? Okay? So now if you look at these things, the people, the boys who are doing all these things, they are victims. They are doing this because they need to survive. Because it has been, they grow, or maybe some of them grow up to see that this system, this is our own boss. He is going, we have to work for him so we can get our own.
Are you making excuse for them?
For
the offenders?
You see, my background in sociology, I told you earlier, when you look at crime, you have to address the root. In the words of Chief Obafemi Awolowo, he said the problem is anything which man may not be conscious, which affects or is likely to affect adversely and or which hinders the attainment of his goal and the satisfaction of his needs. But any failure, whether deliberately or inadvertently, to recognize and solve instant problems, it will complicate and make the solutions of both the old and new problems more instructible. Their problems are like plants, they have roots. So if you must solve a problem, you have to address the problem from the root. So what you are saying, arresting and prosecution, it is only, you are only addressing the symptoms. Or you are going to address the symptoms. Who are you going to arrest? The thug? The man who went to shoot someone? The man who went to snatch ballot box? The man who went to forge the paper? The question is, what is the man's interest? What is his benefit in what he's doing? Is he running for the office? If he succeeds in running, in shooting someone, if he succeeds in stealing the ballot box, is he the one going to sit in that office? You understand? So there is a remote influence. You understand? So why you look at the immediate cause of a problem or crime, you have to equally look at the remote cause of that crime.
All right.
So, and the remote cause of that crime, it's the base. That is the real solution.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Yusuf Dantalle, National Chairman-elect IPAC. It's been a wonderful time having this conversation.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing your time with us. We do wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. And I will advise you, the journalists, try as much as possible to do objective reportage, and because democracy belongs to all of us and Nigerians too. Let's have this in better, okay? Even though somebody will inject you to go and do something, do what is right.
Right.
Nigeria belongs to all of us. Without Nigeria, we won't have a captain. Without Nigeria, we won't have my party. Without Nigeria, we won't have Senate. Without Nigeria, we have...
Right.
So we need Nigeria first.
Nigeria first.
And that is the motto
I quite
of
agree.
APM.
I quite agree.
Yeah,
Nigeria first. What a fine way to end this conversation with Honorable Yusuf Dantalle. And he is the national chairman-elect of IPAC. It's been a wonderful time here on The Conversation. I'm sure you must have been rightly educated, entertained, and informed. I will see you next time. My name is Annabelle Oji. God bless you and yours. God bless Nigeria.